Okay, so I was wrong about who's getting the new CyberSkin. It's not Jet, it's actually Cascade. And now that we know who's getting the skins and what they are, we can talk about how valuable they will be to the average player. Let's get into it.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charlie. This is Hero War Central, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the cybernetic skin for Mushy and Shroom and the cybernetic skin, Cyber Demon skin for Cascade. If this is your first time joining Hero War Central, I am all about efficiency for the free-to-play and the budget player. That sounds like something you might be interested in learning more about, then stick around. Anyway, Mushy and Shroom is a tank. Mushy and Shroom is one of the few tanks that did not have an armor skin. And for literal years now, I've been saying that this is a hero that really won't step forward into being a strong tank until they get that armor. For a long time, the meta was dominated by Dante. Dante's a physical attacker. Now we have, Lara Croft and Lyria variations with Ishmael and Galahad and Tristan. All of those are going to disappear eventually, but physical attackers will always be a big part of Hero Wars. And in fact, most every hero, with the exception of I think like 3 heroes, including Cascade, has a basic auto attack that does physical damage. All of those heroes using their basic auto attack on the tank first line position. If you have a tank that doesn't have armor, then you're going to be a little out of luck. Now, the thing about Mushy and Shroom is they have a bunch of like self-healing and replication abilities, so the armor skin wasn't always as necessary as it could be. The problem with Mushy and Shroom still, even with the armor artifact, is there is not that much utility. Taking a look at each skill individually, you have Perfect Copy, which creates a clone of Mushy and Shroom, so all activities, all attacks, all abilities, clone, copied. You have Wild Growth, which has a heal over time effect to Mushy and Shroom. Not much utility there, but still it's something. Blue ability is the only thing that I would consider utility that Mushy and Shroom has. It is a magic damage attack hitting the front line, the front column of the enemy team, and it silences them for 4 seconds. That is something worth considering, especially since we are really dipping our toes into a heavy magic meta in the upcoming months. We have the update to Krista, we have the release of Cascade, we have Electra, we have all of these magic damage focused heroes, tanks supporting magic damage dealers, all of that. We might start seeing a lot more magic damage dealers on the front line. Of course, we don't really see Aurora, the tank, anymore. She was very popular before Lyria came out. Aurora is a nice magic damage dodge tank, but what Mushy and Shroom and Electra do is, in a way, a lot of what Aurora did, magic damage from a tank, right? So it's just a different kind of thing. Mushy and Shroom I would consider to be a pretty heavily offensive tank, not much in the way of protecting his team. Even the Violet ability here doesn't really do much to protect its allies. This is a big magic damage attack for the enemy frontline position that is based on the amount of healing that Mushy and Shroom has received. So to me, this game is all about having utility, having options. And one of the things that Mushy and Shroom was lacking all along was an armor skin and utility. And we're getting that armor skin, but I am curious if a 4-second silence is enough to consider using Mushy and Shroom over another magic damage tank, or a tank that supports a magic damage team, like, for example, Electra, or even another tank that maybe not necessarily meshes well with magic teams, but it's just a better overall tank, like, say, Rufus, or Astaroth, or maybe even Corvus as an offensive tank. Mushy and Shroom is absolutely used in the city of Asgard, though, so you will eventually want to have Mushy and Shroom leveled up to use against Maestro and all of that. So in that respect, I think the skin is probably worth considering, but because Mushy and Shroom is already doing okay, already doing something against those City of Asgard boss fights, it isn't a priority. It's not a pressing thing. Of course, if Mushy and Shroom is your primary tank, get that armor skin. 100% get that armor skin. Eventually, we will come back into a world where having more silences on that front line is going to be super important. Right now, we have like Isaac to take care of that. We have Kira to take care of that. We even have Thea to take care of some of that. I just don't know how much utility Mushy and Shroom brings to the fight. Of course, a lot of people are going to be getting this skin. We're not sure how to get it yet, but it's going to be useful if you use Mushy and Shroom, is all I'm going to say. Yeah, it's probably not as good as the health, the magic penetration, and the magic attack skin, but, armor on a tank, even with 0 utility, is still going to be valuable. Now, the Cascade skin is another story altogether. Cascade is a very, very niche hero that you're either going to use him or you're not. If you are building a mage or magic damage based team, or a pure damage based team for that matter, then you're definitely going to be considering leveling up Cascade, because Cascade can block revives from Rufus. And Rufus is a problem for magic damage teams, right? He self-revives whenever he's dealt magic or pure damage as a final blow. This will block the revive. But more importantly, 3 out of Cascade's 4 skills are modified by magic attack, and that is the skin that he is getting here. The mythic skin, the armor mythic skin, was a big question mark for me. Was it really worthwhile to have on this hero? And, you know, sure, he stands in the middle line, so he will get some physical attacks here and there. And in a world, again, where we're dealing with Dante, we're dealing with Dante, we have Illyria, we have Lara Croft, all of that, you know, having some armor is good. You know, just as a baseline, having that armor is still good. But this magic attack skin for a mage and a mage support style hero for Cascade is going to be absolutely necessary. This is going to be, if you build, you know, Lars Krista or, you know, Orion Cascade, or any team that uses Cascade as part of the rotation, the option that you're swapping in and out, I personally do not. Okay, I personally do not use any team that requires that. And if I do, I just use like Morgan to block revives instead of Cascade. Less good in a pure magic damage team, but you know, it's okay. It's all right to have a little bit of variance. You know, Hydrokinesis, 15% magic attack. It's not a ton of bonus, but it is something. Tidal Wave is 45% of magic attack, and Refluence is 12% of magic attack. Elemental Surge is what changes the basic attack to magic damage. This kind of, in a roundabout way, does affect Cascade's basic attack damage, because this ability says any intelligence hero will change their basic auto attacks to become magic damage. So in a way, it does impact Cascade, but the skill itself isn't changed by magic attack, if that makes any sense. It does increase Cascade's basic attack damage, though. So this skin looks absolutely wild, looks crazy, and I think that is very important if you use Cascade. I think it might be more important than the armor skin, but because, you know, we're seeing so many Lyrias and Ishmaels and Lara Crofts and all of that on defense, I think the armor skin is very important as well. I think both of these skins have a place. I think that Cascade is really more of a niche hero, and I think Mushy and Shroom doesn't bring enough utility to be anybody's main tank, but I think that eventually you'll want to have both of them leveled up. That's kind of like my final verdict for these two. Again, not sure how to get either of these skins. It just says, can be obtained during the CyberCon event. They might be in a shop. They might be in the CyberCon Mysterious Island. They might be on a purchasable carousel, only buyable with real money. Like that could be where they come from. I hope that that's not the case. I hope that we have a chance to earn them with real in-game currency, but I guess we'll see. The event does go live the 25th at 2 a.m. UTC, which is 8 p.m. Central Time here in the United States and North America. So roughly 12 hours from my recording of this video, the CyberCon and Emerald City event's going to go live, and we will have a better look on how to get these skins. Now, you can do max testing right now. I'm pretty certain, since they're available to view, I think that if you go into combat training, I think that they do show up in max testing. So be mindful of that if you're using Cascade or Mushy and Shroom for Clash of Worlds or Guild Wars today. Just be mindful of that the results that you get in that max training might be different than what you expect. Of course, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure yet, because I didn't do any math before the event starts, before the skins were added, and now that they're here, it's kind of impossible to make the change. So let me know in the comment section down below. How do you feel? How do you feel about Mushy and Shroom's armor skin? How do you feel about the Cascade's magic attack skin? Love to hear your thoughts. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.